Well, hi there. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy VII. This is part 3. At the end of part 2 there, we just arrived at a wall market. We had successfully, or somewhat successfully, bombed the Sector 5 reactor, and Cloud fell off the bridge walkway type thing from the explosion from the boss robot exploding. And he fell into a flower bed in a church in the slums. And that's where we met Eris. And yeah, on the way, we were just trying to make our way back to Sector 7, and we saw our friend Tifa on a chocobo-drawn carriage wearing a blue dress. And so now we're investigating what she is up to here. That old guy outside of the Honeybee Inn, he in fact knows that Tifa is a new girl, and she's being interviewed at Don Corneo's mansion. Yeah, we will later learn he's kind of like sort of like a crime boss or whatever, but he's kind of like in charge here, and he is looking for a wife, allegedly. He has like a dungeon and a bunch of stuff, so I don't really know that he's entirely looking to settle down. That sounds a bit much to me, but yeah, we are gonna try and figure out what Tifa is doing in here. And yeah, so the guard at the door won't let Cloud in because the Dawn is not into dudes, as he says, and you know, he's would have no interest in Cloud. But it looks like Eris has a plan hatched. Alright, so we need to go see about getting a dress. Now, full disclosure, this is my third time recording this segment because, as previously discussed, I want to secure that Yuffie date. One of the things the guide says to do is to get Tifa chosen, which I failed to do 2 consecutive times. I got Eris chosen both times, and I thought, see, I was remembering it that she was the... Because pretty much every single time I replay the game, I just get Cloud selected as the date because it's awfully funny. But yeah, my memory was that Tifa was the middle choice and Eris was the default choice if you score the lowest. But yeah, so I got her twice in a row. The second time, everything was perfect except I bought the 50 gil vending machine drink, and I still got Eris. So that leads me to believe that she is the middle choice, Eris is, and Tifa was. And then, yeah, I kind of thought about it some more, and I'm pretty sure that's the case, and that's why I flubbed it twice. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing the Honeybee Inn stuff. You can get a pair of underwear from there and some makeup, and there are some kind of funny scenes, but I don't want to have to replay this a third time and risk anything, so I'm going to choose all the worst options and not get anything that's not required and lose the squat competition. And God willing, Tifa will be chosen because I really don't want to have to read all this stuff again. And, you know, also probably, you know, just, you know, not like it's terribly difficult to just talk while I'm playing, but as far as like recapping stuff, it definitely, if I literally just said it, you know, bit irritating, mildly irksome. So anyway, yeah, so the son, this tailor slash dressmaking shop, the son here does not make the dresses the father does, and he is apparently getting plastered at the bar over here. So we need to try and convince him to come back to work. Yeah, it kind of just seems like he's not that into making dresses anymore, and that's part of the reason he's drinking. And Cloud being a tough-looking guy, the notion of him dressing in drag is just so tantalizing that the old man has no choice but to go back to work. So again, I'm trying to score as low as possible here, so the choice you want for the silk dress is feels soft, so we'll do the opposite with clean. And I think it's shimmers, so we'll do shiny. And I don't actually know the name of the, because there's 3 different items you can get in all these cases. It's the same is true of like the wig, the tiara, the cologne. There's 2 different kinds of underwear. There's just the one makeup, and yep, I think I named everything. Yep, that's everything. So anyway, we'll pop back into the tailor dressmaker shop, dress store. Go ahead and try this cotton dress on, which I think, yeah, I think this is the lowest rank dress. Alrighty. All right, so we are well on our way to disguising ourselves as a pretty lady, but the dress alone is not going to be enough. We are going to need a wig to accompany that, and this wig is highly sought after. So in order to get it, we are going to need to best this guy in a squat contest. And I did in fact win the last time. I can do pretty decently at this, but I am, you know, again, assuming that I'm currently... Got it. Currently assuming that I need to get a low score to get Tifa chosen, so should not be hard. Don't need practice. Doing the... I just like to squat at my own pace, you know, good form. Don't want to... If you squat too fast, you can pull a muscle, you know? Also, just by really going slow on each step, you know, you're kind of really stretching out all the individual muscles. All right, so I think for losing, we get the soiled wig. Which, you know, will not necessarily make the disguise as appealing, but he still gets that big, like, comical punch you across the room. Oh, it's just wig. I thought it was... Well, now I have to check the item description and see if it's described as soiled or if I just made that up. Nope, it's just a wig made from messed up hair. Okay. Yeah. Well, there you have it then. So it's wig, dyed wig, and blonde wig, I think, then. Alright, well, normally I'd be doing some other back and forth and gathering all these items, but, you know, again, I guess we have the bare minimum, so off we go. And I guess the one thing I will check really quick, it's not really of crucial importance, but I have on my previous times, I know I went to the weapon store, but I'm not positive I did it this time. So I ought to check real quick. There's a better weapon for Eris and for Tifa, and, you know, really doesn't matter too much, but it's kind of one of those, you know, may as well. If nothing else, it gives you more slots to hold all your materia, which is, you know, kind of making sure you're getting the most out of all the AP you get during battle, which is definitely, you know, the materia system is pretty central to your success in 7, so definitely good to be leveling as many as you can. So, yes, I suppose I... Or wait, huh? Yeah, Metal Knuckle, I guess I did. Then I must have equipped the... No, huh, okay, then why do I not have the I should have one of the next bangle. Did I not buy that? I guess I will double check this real quick. It's on the way anyhow. Yeah, don't have any. So yeah, I'll just get one. It has the same number of slots as the Titan bangle. It just has better stats as well. And again, I think my, you know, it'll definitely get outclassed several times over. So it's like the early game, it's really not crucial. You get every single thing necessarily. I just like to have maximum slots available. So all the random, you know, Midgar and Disc 1 materia you pick up, you're getting it leveled. Even though I guess it's kind of academic, because it's not like it's more just because I like to, I guess, because plenty of the things that I level I won't be using. And well, getting master materia is kind of cool just for completion's sake. You can kind of get burned with it because it'll combine all your high level materia. So like if you had 2 different characters using 2 different commands, which is overwhelmingly likely, you could find yourself in a situation where, you know, you have less options, fewer options or whatever. It's really kind of more of just like a kind of swag thing to do. And you certainly don't need it to like do the weapons. So the master materia, that is. Because yeah, like the last, you know, like when my last run through when I did them, I had, you know, because I had gotten my guys to like low 90s. So you know, I qualified for the master materia. And I did switch them in at first, but then I realized how it kind of goofed up my configuration. So I ended up not using them. Although, of course, there is, you know, there's also the master materia you get for beating one of the 2. I forget which one. I want to say it's Emerald is the master materia and the gold chocobo is Ruby. Which is, I mean, not like, I mean, at that point in the game, what reward could they give you that would really be meaningful? But it's like, it's a pretty preposterous reward just because it's like, what world would you not have a gold chocobo and then still beat Ruby weapon? And I will, granted, acknowledge it's possible, but, you know, I would think most people, if you're going to put in the time to get to high level and do Ruby weapon, you're probably going to get a golden chocobo somewhere along that route. So anyway, yeah, Cloud finally got in touch with Tifa, and you know, they need to have a private Avalanche conversation. So Eris is at least claiming she's gonna cover Eris. I think it's not so much the case, but yeah, Cloud will just so yeah, anyway, after the successful Sector 5 bombing, Tifa and Barrett made their way back to Sector 7 slums, and they found a shady looking guy who had they pressed for some intel, and they found out that Don Corneo might in fact know something. So Tifa said it was kind of bothering her, so she thought she'd come over here and get to the bottom of it. Fortunately for Cloud, the low quality, low quality wig and dress, as well as his lack of, makeup and perfume, lingerie, and tiara. There's not a chance on Earth he's going to get chosen. He's way too plain looking. He's not going to fool the Dawn. And so yeah, here we are meeting the Dawn for the first time. He's definitely like a pretty kind of entertaining character in that he's kind of like pretty over the top, kind of with his womanizing and kind of sort of lecherous sort of behavior. Definitely not, it's definitely played for laughs or whatever, but he definitely like kidnaps some girls and does some stuff. He's definitely like, I would not consider Don Corneo to be a role model. I'll put it that way. I definitely think he's probably not a great guy. But so this mansion, this segment here, this is the one time you see him in the main story. Oh, thank God. Okay, it was Tifa's the choice for doing poorly. Okay, I was gonna like just throw a tantrum and just punch all through my monitor if he chose Eris for that would have been the 4th time for me, and I just wouldn't be able to bear that. But yeah, not when I was after I stopped to think about it, and I partially do blame this guide because it says like, oh, and Don needs to choose Tifa. This is the hardest part. And it's just like, I mean, that might technically be true, but I was thinking that meant like do the middle one. Like, oh, you don't want to go too perfect and do Cloud, but you don't want to do too. I mean, how is it hard to just do, bad on every single thing? Like, I think if I'd accidentally chosen a better dress, I'll bet you that still wouldn't have been enough for to bring me into Eris territory. But so anyway, yeah, the Don, he's obviously all of his henchmen, he'll throw the girls he didn't choose over to them, and it's just kind of how it is. These guys, it's funny. They'll do the zombie follow you around kind of thing. It's been a while. Yeah, when I think I've already said it in this recording. You'll have to forgive me if I do some minor repeating myself, because I've said the same things across several recordings now. But like, I usually do the Cloud gets chosen option. But yeah, there is an item in here. Leer, snicker. All right. Bunch of scrubs. Correct, scrubs. And so, of course, enraged that Cloud is not a woman, they're gonna fight me to the death. I think this, like, enemy model, I mean, they're kind of vaguely Thief-esque, but I'm pretty sure this is, like, a unique enemy model. Like, I don't think you fight guys that really look quite like this ever again, as far as I know. But yeah, obviously, lackeys, NBD. Second wave of lackeys. Oh, that's good. I still got my lemon break off. As previously stated, not a huge deal if you, like, miss it by a turn or whatever. Just, like to be efficient where I can. There's actually, so we're gonna be confronting Dawn in a few moments, and if I'm not mistaken, it's not that you don't need to have Cloud selected to do it, but he has a hyper behind his bed, which is our first opportunity to get a hyper. And I believe I did mention on one of my previous recordings that I'm going to try and keep the guys that I want to use hypered so that I can get through their limit breaks faster. Of course, just conscious, just chasing Eris around the dungeon. Some good lighthearted fun. He likes being pushed down the stairs. So we want to say we gotta help Tifa. I know she says, "Oh, you're right," but you can give us some minus points. We should have checked on her for some plus if we wanted the plus points, but again, we're not interested in dating Eris, so. Gotta work actively to, lower her disposition towards us. All right, and with all this dealt with, we are off to confront the Dawn. He also does like the hip thrust or the pelvic thrust or whatever. That's like kind of like I've mentioned, like kind of Cloud does the shrug a lot, or Barrett does a lot of arm flailing. Like Don Corneo does a lot of pelvic thrusting. It's very, very in keeping with his character. Also another funny part of the game, of course, where they threaten to, you know, mutilate his wiener in various ways. You know, that's again the kind of lighthearted fun that we all love in our Final Fantasy VIIs. Alright, we can in fact grab the Hyper, which I'll probably be slapping on Old Cloud sooner than later. Hopefully I'll get lots of limit breaks before. Alright, and I think we'll just be on our way now, now that we've gotten the information. And yes, we are in fact standing on a trapdoor. Oh no, and it leads to the, it in fact leads to the sewer. But first we're gonna get a quick cutscene. This is the Heidegger, I think is how you say the name, is the guy he was just talking about. And their Shinra's dastardly plot. Tifa was in fact right to trust her gut about this being something important, because this is some pretty crucial information. And there he mentions he assigned the Turks. We saw Turk earlier. We saw Reno earlier. He was trying to capture Eris back at the church in the slums. And here's the first time we're introduced to Reeve. I think he's part of like the Shinra government or Shinra board or whatever. But yeah, he says right there, urban development. Big old shrug at the mayor. Who cares? He sits in this building all day feeding his face, probably on pizza. And that, speaking of kind of like, you know, Dawn's thing being the pelvic thrust and kind of characters having their things they do, Heidegger definitely has got a big like belly laugh. He didn't do it there, but he has his laugh is like a gia ha 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 like that or whatever kind of. He looks like a big guy. I always think of it as being like a really deep, like kind of belly laugh. Yeah, this is one of those plans where it always kind of seemed to me like, I guess from the standpoint of getting rid of Avalanche is kind of handy, but you think like it's gotta, how does it really benefit you to like destroy like a major portion of your city? Kind of seems like one of those bad guy plans that's not that great in actuality. Well, I just have one materia to be attaching here, but doesn't really matter. I don't think I'm going to be magicking this guy much. I will slap that hyper I just acquired on my boy Cloud here. Try and get as many braveries as we can, and hopefully he doesn't get killed prematurely here. And we want to talk to Eris first, according to this guide. This guide also said it would be difficult to get Tifa chosen, even though you Literally, he can be terrible at everything. So I'm gonna need to contact the guy who wrote that and be like, what do you mean by that? What in your mind would make that difficult? Get the rockin' FF7 boss track. Always a good way to start. And yeah, this is the, I guess, kind of like sewer monster that the Dawn would in fact feed people to. I kind of always thought of it. I imagine I'm not alone in this. It's kind of, I think, a pretty readily makeable comparison, but makes me think of Jabba feeding people to the Rancor and what's it called? Why can't I think of the name? I guess Healing Wind anyways, to, even though I don't really care about leveling up Aerys's thing. Return of the Jedi, that's the film that I was thinking of. But yeah, having a trapdoor and a beast, again, it's not like those are the only 2 times it's ever existed in media. Just off the top of my head, Legend of Dragoon, when you go back to the prison, they absolutely drop you through a trapdoor and there's a trapdoor monster. There's 3 examples already. I'll bet you there's dozens of them in media. Yeah, he does, this guy was waiting before I was gonna, waiting before the attack. So he'll do like a high tide, and if he did that, I might want, or it's called something like that. High tide might be thinking of that. That might be the name of the 9 thing that makes you get your trance faster. But he has, something it's like high tide, whatever it might be called. Oh, and it looks like, I'm assuming it's that lick or whatever, but it looks like Aerys has got sadness, which is of course the opposite of fury. So that's like you take slightly less damage, but your limit gauge fills up slower. And actually, yeah, I had forgotten, I don't even have a second all cast. I forgot that's how it works in this game, but you get 1 all per battle at level 1, and it's like the number of stars is the number of alls per battle. But yeah, there is in fact a finite number. Unless maybe by the time you get an all mastered, then maybe then it is it's unlimited per battle, but it might not be. I want to say, I don't think it is. That was a lucky miss there. I think she might have gotten downed otherwise. Which again, don't especially care, but she's got a lot of materia on her, so actually no, I take that back. I would absolutely especially care. It's not just like if Tifa died and I just lost the AP on the ice. Like she's fully loaded. Chocked full of materia. So yeah, I'm gonna take back what I said. I would completely mind. I would mind a lot. So yeah, this guy hasn't, I'm surprised he hasn't used Sewer Tsunami. There you go, so not High Tide. I'm pretty sure High Tide is the name of that, the Final Fantasy IX thing. And yeah, this is kind of interesting in that he'll also damage himself. Gotta hit the old boy with a Braver. That's the first order of business. I think that this should it wasn't fast enough, so lost a little bit of damage there. I was gonna say I thought that would do it for Aerys, but yeah, I guess thanks to her sadness, not quite enough. All right, I'm gonna drop. Who did I heal? Okay, guys, I guess I'll drop one on Old Cloud. Guess really, I should probably just if I was being more cautious, I'd probably just be healing with Aerys, because obviously she is meant to be a caster and is not known for a DPS. But yeah, I figured he was not long for this world. R.I.P. apps. You were too beautiful for this world. What have they done to my boy? Alright, so got a little experience from that whole ordeal. So, yeah, we are gonna try and stop the destruction of the pillar. So we'll be making our way through the sewer, which is reasonably short segment, and then we'll be doing the train graveyard, which is longer than the sewer, but also pretty short. That was definitely one of the areas of the remake of 7 that I thought was pretty cool. I like how they had the whole ghost thing with that they did with the sewers for the remake. I thought that was a nice touch, and yeah, there was plenty of stuff that like all the stuff they added. Really, I guess if you want to get right down to it, it's like I don't think the stuff they added was bad or like took away from the game. It was just I would have hoped they would have covered more ground in the first disc, like it, you know, it all being about Midgar, and like Midgar is a substantial portion of the game, but it's like, all right, no, let me nix that. Midgar takes a while to complete. It's not like, you know, compared to the overall, you know, percentage of the game, it's really a relatively limited part. I stumbled all over myself there. So yeah, these guys have I don't, you know, they take either reduced physical damage or whatever, so I think you're definitely encouraged to use magic against them. I don't actually recall what their weakness is, but them being like kind of amphibious, you would kind of think like, and using water gun, you kind of think it would be lightning, but I don't know this for a fact. I do know it's time for a limit break. Because again, even though there's a very small chance I'd actually use Tifa, I mean, no reason not to just get them for the, you know, get higher limit breaks for the brief time you're required to use various members. Just the same way I'll level up materia I'm never going to use. It's just like, oh, might as well. I don't know what I'm waiting for here. Oh, right. I just saw it. I haven't actually picked it up. That would explain it. Case closed. Next mystery, please. All right, I will probably just, even though a lot of enemies have kind of trivial, like they'll have a potion or they'll have a echo screen or something. I probably still will be having Tifa do pretty much just stealing, just so Cloud can be doing more, well, you know, so fights can be going a little longer. Cloud can hopefully be taking more damage, and once he gets his cross slash, hopefully he can be getting some more killing blows. Yeah, there's that go home thing again. That's kind of referenced a few times though. Sorry, it's too dangerous. Sorry, we got you involved. That's definitely like brought up a time or two. All right, been a little while since we've saved. Nice to not have to go back and do the wall market stuff for a 5th time. Again, feel a little bad for any viewer that might be missing all the Honeybee Inn shenanigans, because they are indeed funny, but, you know, it's, it'll be worth it when we get that date, rest assured. So yeah, I think these guys might have ethers for stealing, if I'm not mistaken. The one guy here that's kind of note for stealing, because like sort of, I think it's the next tier of weapons. They are stealable starting now and through like, you know, kind of the sections like kind of right after Midgar. And the first one is Eris's staff, so it's something that, you know, you'd care about very little, but there's this like, starts with an E, I can't quite remember the name, but it's this weird like kind of almost Minotaur-y looking guy, or he almost has an Ifrit quality to him, I think, but he's like on a cart. He's kind of weird looking. All right, excellent. We're in Cross Slash Town now. Although it's weird, I don't think did I use Braver that fight? I don't remember it. Was it for, is it killing blows and then use of limit breaks? I might need to, I'm not going to pause this recording to look it up, but I might need to get to the bottom of this. So that would be good to know. With all my endless talk about being efficient and stuff, if I was doing it wrong this entire time. So yeah, there was definitely a few things I was like kind of curious about. And I was like, oh, I should probably look that up before I start playing. And you know, still on the list of things I need to look up. That cover is doing exactly what I was hoping it would. Stealing does have a kind of lower success rate, but you know, eventually you get like mug and stuff like that. That's a lot handier for it. You do also get things that enhance your stealing ability, but there's a few kind of good things you can steal, but it's not, this isn't really like a stealing centric game the way like say 9 is or whatever. Or I'd even say like in 8, there's kind of more meaningful things you can steal than in 7. Although, you know, I will just, you know, couch that as like, this is an off the top of my head statement. I'm not positive about that one. So, you know. I think you actually do need to come through here. So in this train graveyard, you need to operate a couple of these trains too. Nope, actually, I take it back. I did go the right way. But I, you know, it was just to get the high potion. All right, I believe these ghosts have ghost hands for the stealing. I also feel like they're weak to fire. Although that almost kind of automatically sounds wrong because are ghosts weak to holy in this game? I wonder. Like, I know, of course, undead are, but really it's a question of are ghosts considered undead? Just in the name of science, let's find out. Stealing my MP, scoundrel. Well, science experiment ruined. Yep. Indeed they are. I mean, hardly shocking ghosts to be considered undead, I gotta say. All right, and no, okay, no, I do need to get down from there. I was right the first time. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to attack with Tifa there, but again, NBDA. It's one of those, like... And I'm not going to go too nuts with this, because, you know, combat's kind of slow enough as it is, so I'm not, you know, again, I don't really want to, like, go too min-maxy, but... like to have as many Cloud Last hits as I can. There we go. Yeah, okay. Alright, this cross slash should hopefully one-shot him. I'm gonna attack the other one just to be safe. Wow. All right, and we'll climb up the ladder here to get past, I'm not really clear if it's a pit or a junk pile. I think it kind of looks more like a junk pile, but at any rate, you know, train graveyard is not an easy place to maneuver around. You gotta do some creative routing to get to and fro. And here we're gonna start using some still operational engines to move stuff out of the way. And we can pop up here for, I don't think it's anything very consequential. I think it's like a potion or something. High potion. So by definition, a little more consequential than a regular potion. Find another fortunately operational train. And I think that's literally the last thing we need to do here. I think it's smooth sailing from here. And I'm pretty sure I got all the items. There's really nothing that special going on in the train yard, truth be told. But yeah, I think really the biggest deal thing is if you want to try and find that enemy that has the stealable era staff. Which, I mean, it's the double whammy because it takes a while to steal it, A, and B, it's kind of a rare enemy encounter. Like, most of the times, if I'm just running through normally, I would not run into that guy. And yeah, I was right earlier. These guys do indeed have ethers. Pretty handy. I don't know, I'm starting to line up some of these roulette things. Maybe it wouldn't be so hard. I kind of think I still just want to do Barrett just because he's kind of, you know, kind of easier, more straightforward, better, also better. I don't know. I guess I've still got plenty of time to decide. I think I at least have till the end of Midgar before I'd really want to commit to something, but oh, I guess I kind of just slid right back into attacking with Tiff. I wasn't really thinking about it. He's gonna get a cross-slashing. Yes, sir. Cross-slashing for you, my friend. And we'll definitely want to drop a heal. It would be good to drop a heal no matter what, but I think especially when you consider that Cloud would lose his fury if he died, and we're pretty close to, I think, the point where they'll start selling furies and tranquilizers at the store, but until that happens, you know, want to guard the one I have. So I made a note of this earlier, but yep, here we are back to this familiar spot. Kind of a nice one of those, you know, lots of different kinds of games do it, but I like those moments where like you sort of feel it, you see like how one area ties into the other, and you're like, oh, back here, like, oh, this connects to that. And yet there's, you know, we looked up at the pillar earlier, and there's quite a bit of commotion going on. Gunfire. Which, to be fair, lots of people have guns, but, you know, it's obviously supposed to make you think of one person in particular. And here comes a wedge. I'd say the fact he's like, you know, able to talk at all, and like all of his like internal organs aren't crushed from falling at that height is like kind of strains credulity, but you know, it's one of those, like, I mean, Cloud did a similar fall. Although I guess Cloud is also, well, he's absolutely not a soldier no matter what he says. He did get some kind of Mako infusing thing, so he's clearly like, you know, I think more hardy than your average guy. And But anyway, yeah, so they're gonna look after Wedge. Not looking good, I'm sure. Can't say anything else to Wedge, I suppose. So yeah, Barrett's fighting Shinra up at the top, and oh yeah, sweet. We can indeed buy some hypers. Let's go ahead and get a few of those. We're gonna get, well, yeah, we'll just get the one, I guess. You need, this is like way down the line, but you also need to, you can get some Yuffie points by giving her a tranquilizer, because one of her things is that she gets like seasick and airsick and all that stuff. So that'll help us on the help us in our pursuit of that golden saucer date. It kind of, I don't think it's supposed to be the same person, but it kind of looks like that girl that was getting sick in the Wall Market bathroom. All right, and yeah, I'd say I've hit just about the hour mark, so we can go ahead and cut it off here. But thank you for watching, and be sure to join me on the next exciting installment. We are going to see what's at the top of that pillar and probably have a boss fight with one of the Turks, and it might be Reno. All right, see you next time.